guys, how's it going? Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for your participation to today's webinar. This is Jason from Yeastar training team, and today will be part 3 of our YSCT training. And like I said before, we actually have some, lots of core features left on our system. So our topic for today's webinar will be we're going to focus on those core features. So we're going to talk about those features one by one, and also we're going to figure out how do we set those features. Okay, so let's check this out and jump into the system. Now, about your core features, actually, it's pretty easy. If you're trying to set your core features, basically you log into your system and click the settings. You guys will see this. We have call features in the PBX category here. So it's pretty easy to find this. Now just click on that and let's talk about call features first. The first call feature I'm going to talk about here will be IVR. Actually, guys, you know what? Before we talk about IVR, I guess there's another thing we need to talk about in advance, which is the custom prompt. So first of all, you know what is IVR, right? That's actually the interactive voice response, right? So normally for all kinds of enterprise users or whatever. So people who are trying to get a telephony system, make it work in their office, absolutely they're going to need IVR service, especially for some people if they have a service center or something to handle customers' incoming costs. Absolutely, we're going to use IVR. For example, if you're trying to apply a credit card, you basically just make a call to the bank service. But bank service, normally there's no one gonna handle your call directly. Instead, you're gonna call to the IVR, right? So the point is, different companies they have different IVRs totally. So what about this IVR? I mean the prompt. Absolutely, you need to make a customization for yourself. You have to record it by yourself. So how do we record that? That's actually what I was said, what I was talking about the custom prompt. So first thing first, we're gonna click on voice prompts here. That will be our first step. And you guys will see here we have a custom prompts. Just click on that. Because here for your IVR, we're not going to use the system prompt. A system prompt is kind of like a standard version. It's just play some notification to your internal users. But for the IVR, it's totally customized by yourself. You're going to play this prompt to your customers. So you can just make a recording by yourself here. And about our custom prompts, it's pretty easy for you to make a recording. As you guys can see here, we have record new. Just click on that button and you can start your recording by, by an extension. So basically what we're going to do here is we just select one of our extension. Any of them is okay. You just select one. Okay. For example, you can select 1001 and name this prompt. This is going to be a new prompt, so you can just name your prompt here. After that, click on this record button. So you will get a phone ring simultaneously on this extension 1001, and just pick it up and start your recording. To be honest, guys, I really want to show you guys how do we record a prompt here, but today's live demo, I just have my computer, I just have a PC and PBX. So I don't have the actual phone here, so I cannot show you how do we record this. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy for you guys, so you can just have it tested there, okay? So this is one way for you to make a recording of your prompt. Another way for you to do that is you can also click on upload. Now this is also supported. So upload is much easier. So sometimes if you prefer to have a good audio quality for this prompt, you can make a recording by yourself. For example, you can find a studio or something, make a recording there. But before you do that, make sure your recording file is completely meet this requirement. Okay, so this is a requirement for this audio file. After that, you can just upload it here. So this is two ways for these are two ways for us to make customization for our prompt. Okay, after that, we can get back to the call features here. So to make it clear, guys, I prefer to delete what I had before so we can start from the very beginning and let's talk about this IVR settings from the very beginning, okay? So talking about IVR, this feature is very interesting because in our daily life, when we try to make a call to the bank service, for example, So normally you call to the bank service, and the first thing you will hear from from the system, it's gonna be a greetings or welcome, anyway, something like that, right? Then after this greetings, this IVR will play some options. It will give you some options. For example, like for English service, please press 1. For Chinese service, please press 2. Now, if you dial number 1, you go to the English service. So everything will be speaking English, right? And now they will give you more options. For example, for sales information, please press 1. For support, please press 2. For some other kind of services, please press 3. Anyway, something like that. So in this example, that's a 3 levels IVR, right? So the first level is greetings, the second level is language selection, and the third level is the final destination. For example, if you dial number 1, you just go to the sales department. So that's your final destination. There's a sales specialist or a sales agent or representative. Anyway, he or she going to handle your case right now. So this is a 3 levels IVR. So let's just take this example for now. Okay. So how do we configure the system to create an IVR system like that? Like I said before, 3 levels IVR. Well, the IVR system is very interesting. It's kind of like a triangle system from the welcome, from the greetings to the final destination. That's kind of like a pyramid structure or triangle system, whatever you call it. So talking about triangle or pyramid, so absolutely you're going to start this IVR creation from the bottom side, from the very fundamental part, which will be your final destination. So you need to create an IVR which can help you to reach the final destination. And then we put those different IVRs together. Then we create a one general IVR, which is for the greetings or the welcome, right? So that's the basic logic. So the first IVR we're going to create here is not going to be greetings. Instead, it's going to be the second level IVR, because the second level IVR can help us to direct our calls to the specific destination, right? So the second level IVR is actually the languages, right? So the first IVR I'm going to create here is English service. Okay, so we can call this as English service. And by the way, you guys can see here we also have a number of this IVR. So by system default setting, you will have a number of this IVR. So absolutely, you can change this number. Now, like we talked about this before, if you want to change the number range, don't forget to get back to the general settings. I'll go to the preferences. There you can change your number range. Okay, now name your IVR like it did. We just named this English service. So I named this English. And here you can upload your prompt. Like I said, like what we did before. So you have multiple, you have lots of, custom prompts. Then you can just select it here. So you can select one prompt or you can add multiple prompts. Absolutely, that's okay. It depends on you. Okay. For example, sometimes you call to the bank service, they probably play something, like advertisement. Just an example. They probably just play advertisement, and after that, they will play something for your, guidance or, indication, something like that. Okay. And next part we have here is prompt repeat count. So it depends on how many times would you like to play this, the prompt to the customer. Okay, so by system default setting is 3 times. Absolutely, you can change this. What's more, we also have response timeout. So response timeout, it depends on you. Like you play this IVR to your customers, and you're gonna wait for his operation, right? So we play the prompt to you, and we actually want you to dial the specific number, so you will be able to reach the next level. But I can set a timeout here. So like 3 seconds, I'm gonna wait you for 3 seconds, or we can also change this time, this duration. Okay. Besides that, we can also change the digit timeout as well. So digit timeout is very important here because we're talking about IVR feature. So customers, they call to the IVR, they need to dial digits, and then about this digit timeout, it actually just tells our system to figure out if I dial the digit, and after that, between every two digits, there's a there's a duration. So how many seconds are we going to wait for the next dialing, the next digit dialing? So we can set the digit timeout here as well. And by the way, here we have the rest of four features. We have dial extensions, dial branches extensions if multi-site interconnect is enabled, and dial outbound routes, dial to check voicemail. So these four features, I'm not going to talk about it here. I'm going to talk about these four features later. Now, because this IVR I'm creating right now, the English IVR, it's not actually, this is not the final IVR I'm going to use it for my incoming call destination, right? This is not a complete IVR. This is just part of my IVR. So for now, I don't need these four advanced features. I can just keep it this way. All right. Then we're going to go to the key press event. So like I said, this is English service. So, if you dial number one, you go to the English service. After that, this IVR will play everything in English, right? It will just tell you everything in English. And, our final destination is not English IVR. Our final destination is sales department or tech support or something like that. So you reach this IVR and you will hear the prompts in English, right? So the notification or the prompts will just speak in English, and it will tell you if you want a sales department, if you want a sales information, please press 1. Now we go to the key press event here. For press 1, we can select our destination. Now this destination, you can choose your tech support, your sales department. Like for the sales department, we can choose ring group. All right, so we can set a ring group of our sales department. Okay, and for press 2, we're going to go to the tech support. So it will be another ring group for the tech support. That's pretty easy, right? And as for some other letters, some other digits, if we don't want to, if it's not necessary for us to make some definition here, we can just keep it this way. That's okay. And here you can set a timeout destination. So if this is IVR ring timeout, where exactly are we going to direct this call? You can set the destination here. So multiple options here are available for you guys. Okay, and also we have invalid destination. So the invalid destination actually means currently I just define my system number 1 and number 2 are valid. As for other digits are totally invalid. So if some customers they dial number 8 or pound key, we're gonna transfer this call to another destination. Okay, so now click on save, and don't forget the apply button. Okay, very important. So this is the first IVR, okay? Now the second IVR I'm gonna create here will be, like a Chinese IVR, okay? We have English service, absolutely. We also have some other languages services. So here we can create another one for Chinese service. As for the other settings, we can completely keep it the same way, okay? For the key press event, we can also do the same thing. But guys, here is just an example. I'm gonna choose the same ring group because in my list you can see that I just have sales department and tech support. I can use it directly. But actually, in the real case scenario, absolutely, I need to create two different sales department and two different tech support teams, right? Because one team can speak English, another team speaks Chinese. So absolutely, I need to create two ring groups. Then click on save and apply. So this is about the two language packages. Two language options. And the next step we're going to do here is to create the general IVR, which is the greetings or welcome, whatever you call this. So I prefer to name this as greetings. Okay. And the prompt, you can add multiple prompts. Absolutely. For example, like we prefer to play the advertisement or something, we can just play it here. And for prompt repeat count, for response timeout and digit timeout, we can make a customization, or we can just keep it the same thing. Okay, keep it the same. All right, now let's talk about these four advanced features. The first one, dial extensions. Right now, it makes sense if you enable this, because if I enable this feature now in the future, I put this IVR into my incoming call destination. All of my customers, if they make an incoming call, uh, it's going to be possible for them to dial extensions directly. If they don't want to hear anything from the IVR, they just want to call a specific extension, that's totally supported. And next feature here, dial branches extension if multi-site interconnect is enabled. This feature actually is concerned about our multi-site interconnect feature. So if you're trying to enable this, you will also need to make sure on your system your multi-site interconnect feature has been enabled. By the way, guys, about the multi-site interconnect feature, I'm gonna make a brief introduction here. This feature is specifically designed for multiple offices. Like if you have one headquarter plus multiple branch offices, you want to build an interconnection between each other, you can choose this multi-site interconnect feature. That's exactly how we make use of this. Now, if we enable Dell branches extension, if multi-site interconnect is enabled, so if you enable this feature, then in the future, when a customer make a call comes into this headquarter PBX IVR, and it's actually going to be possible for him to dial the branch office's extension directly from the headquarter system. So that's it. That's this feature. Okay. But to be honest, this feature sometimes going to be very helpful for the internal user instead of the external user, because for internal user, like for example, if I'm the agent of this headquarter and I get a business trip right now, okay, I get a business trip right now, and I just want to call my colleague in my branch office, so I can use this feature. I call to the IVR, then I can call his extension number directly. Okay, and we can also enable this Dell outbound routes. So Dell outbound routes, this feature is also I think this feature is not very popular. Sometimes we can use this feature for for our external, not for external. I'm sorry. Sometimes we can use this feature for our internal user who got a business trip. But the reason why I said this is not very popular is today we have mobile, right? We have smartphone, we have Linkus. So if you get a business trip, you want to call your customers through your company PBX, you can use Linkus, right? You can use your Linkus UC client, make that call directly. So that's totally fine. But this feature actually means if you don't have Linkus, or if your mobile, the data services doesn't work anyway, so you can use this Dell outbound routes. So we can simply just select available outbound routes here, and then if you got a business trip, you're out of the office, you can make a call to your IVR, to your company through the IVR first, and then you can use this feature to make an outgoing call to your customers. Okay. And the last one, dial to check voicemail. Dial to check voicemail. This is also a not very popular feature for today because we have Linkus. So if you really want to check your voicemail when you get a business trip, you can use your Linkus on your mobile to check it directly. But if you don't have Linkus, like you said before, you can also use this feature to check your voicemail. By the way, guys, the voicemail is totally about personal privacy. So here we just put the notification here to notify you guys. If you want to enable this, it's better for you to change the password, change the PIN. Okay, now let's keep going. Now for the key press event, like I said at the very beginning, please press 1 for Chinese service, please press 2 for English service. We can simply just select the IVR of English or Chinese anyway. And here we can select the IVR of another language. That's exactly what we're going to do here. And now for timeout or invalid key. Now, normally we prefer to play the IVR again to our customers if they reach the timeout or if they dial some invalid key. So if we're trying to do that, we can save this IVR first. Make this IVR already existed in your system. Then you click on edit and back to the key press event here. For the timeout destination, you can select the IVR of this greetings. And invalid, we can also do the same thing. But just like I said, if you want to do this, don't forget to click on save. Make sure this IVR, this greetings IVR, is has been, existed already. Okay. Now, after that, when we try to make use of this IVR, we can just go to the call control, find the inbound routes, and click on edit. Go to the incoming call destination, for example, like work time. During work time, we prefer to handle our incoming calls to the IVR. Then we can select IVR of this greetings. Then click on save and apply. So this is how we make it work. Okay, now let's keep going for the next feature. Next feature we have here is ring group. What is ring group? Well, ring group feature actually is a very, very basic feature for you to manage your internal users. For example, if your internal team, I mean your team, you have a sales team, you have a tech support, but not too many people. Okay, not too many people. So what you prefer is just a very simple, very easy way for you to manage those guys. But you just prefer to have a system for helping you to put those people work together to handle the customer incoming calls, right? So we can use ring group. The ring group is a very simple one, very simple one. What we're gonna do basically just create a ring group here, and same as usual, we have a number of this ring group, so it's absolutely customizable. So if you want to change the number of your ring group, absolutely you can do it. And by the way, if you want to change the number range of this ring group, you can also do it. Just get back to the general settings, go for the preferences there. You can change the number range. Okay. Now for this ring group, you can just name it. Okay. For example, we have sales department, we have tech support, we have operation team. Anyway, you can just name it here. Okay, operation team. And then here's the ring strategy. That's very important. But before we talk about ring strategy, don't forget to select your members. Okay, the ring group means this is going to be a group with a bunch of guys. So select your internal users who who you're going to put them in this ring group. Okay, then we can select our ring strategy. So we only have two strategies available here in the ring group. Like I said, ring group features a very simple, very basic one. Okay, so if you just prefer to manage this team with a very easy way, you can choose ring group. So you can choose ring them all, or you can choose sequentially. Now, if we select ring them all, that's easy to understand. So if we get a phone call comes in, all these three users, they're going to get a phone ring. Absolutely. And if we choose ring sequentially, well, on my right hand here, we actually get an order in this list. So you can change the order absolutely like this. It's very flexible. You can switch it, you can change it. So anyway, no matter what kind of order you prefer, after that, we're gonna make an order here, right? So our system will follow this order if we select sequentially to ring those users one by one. For example, if now there's an incoming call and this incoming call will ring 7001 first, and if 7001 never pick it up, it will automatically switch to the next one. Okay. And as for how many seconds are we going to ring each member, over here, you can make your customization. Seconds to ring each member. Okay. Then we have failover destination. So, we have failover destination. We can set it over here. So if customer make a call comes in, there's no available members in the ring group, that's a failover. Then we can set a failover destination. Now, perhaps we can play the IVR again. Okay, now click on save. and apply. So just like I mentioned, the ring groups is a very fundamental feature for you to manage not a big team. If this team is very simple, just 2 or 3 guys, we can use ring group. Well, sometimes if we have a call center, I mean the incoming call center, like a kind of like a service center, which means we have a bunch of guys that are going to work together to handle incoming calls, right? So we need a really complex feature to we need a more advanced feature to handle that complex circumstance. Now we're going to need another feature which is called queue. Let's check this out. Okay, so the queue feature is actually this is going to be the choice for you if you have a service center to handle lots of incoming calls, because queue feature provides us more advanced of lots of options to give you a more advanced solution. Okay, so same as your role, first thing you can change the number like I said before, and also you can make a customization name for this queue. Okay, and also we're going to select our members for this queue. Okay. Okay, so now you can set ring strategy as well for these members. So here, for the queue feature, like I said, we have more advanced options here. Now, for the ring strategy, we will have more options. We can ring them all. We can choose list recent. We can choose fill with calls. We can use random. We can also select round robin with memory hunt or linear. So many options are available here. Okay. As for how do we make use of them, let's have a quick look here. Now, if you choose ring them all, that's easy to understand. We got a phone call comes in, everyone will get a phone ring. And if we choose list recent, now our system will ring the agent which was listed recently called. And if we choose fill with the calls, so this call will ring the agent with the fill with the completed calls. That's easy to understand. I guess the definition here is very clear, right? And if we choose random, well, you will never know who's going to be the next guy. Got a phone ring. And if we choose round robin with memory hunt, well, that's pretty good because this option is more advanced. If you choose round robin with memory hunt, our system will be more intelligent. The system will remember the last cost position. Now, for example, if you got a first call comes in, it rings this guy, 1002 Jason. So our system will remember this position. Okay, the position is the second guy. Okay, now when the next call comes in, it will automatically switch to the third guy, which is 7,000 Daisy. Okay, so that's round robin with memory hunt, more intelligent. And if we choose linear, the linear feature here is very similar with sequentially feature in the ring group. If you choose linear here, our system will just follow the order you set here, like this. I can set an order here. So our system will just follow the order I set it here, ring those guys one by one. Okay, so that's linear. And by the way, guys, because like I mentioned, okay, the call queue feature is more advanced, so we can use this queue feature for a call center, for a service center. So absolutely, there's something different comparing with the ring group. Okay, so as you can see here on my right hand, these users are selected user. Okay, on my left hand, these two users are available users. So actually, that means these two users are available to work as the dynamic agent, and these 4 users are actually fixed users in this queue. Okay, so for the dynamic user, sometimes dynamic users they can join the queue or they can log out of the queue, right? So how can they log in or log out? Absolutely, they can use the feature code. That's not a big deal. That's very easy to understand, right? We can use the feature code to log into the queue or to log out. And besides that, we can also set a password to manage them. Because for the queue, pretty sure you don't want people to log into the queue by their willings. You want to control it, right? You don't want anyone mess up with your queue. So you can set a password here and you're going to tell this password to your agent. So tell this dynamic agent 1001. You can log into the queue, and the password is 123. As for 7002, I didn't tell her about the password, so she cannot log into the queue. And about this log in or log out, how do we make that work? It's pretty easy, guys. Put your mouse on that blue bubble. You guys will see here's the definition. Okay, let's have a check. The dynamic agent is allowed to log in and log out the queue in one of the following two ways. The first way is dial queue number plus asterisk to log into the queue, and dial queue number plus double asterisk to log out. Okay, so this is the first way. The second way is you can dial asterisk 75 plus queue number to switch the log in and log out status of all dynamic agents. Now, this is another way. So the difference is the first one is you can use the feature code, queue number and asterisk to log in, log out. And the second one is actually to change the status of the dynamic agent. Because about the status of the dynamic agent, this is another feature on your IP phone. On your IP phone, you have the BLF key, which means you can use your IP phone, make some customization for the flashlight and the tiny key, right? So if you make some customization on your IP phone, then you can use the second way, dial 75 plus queue number, like this. You can switch the login or log out status. So, which means we can use our IP phone's BLF key to indicate our users whether you're in the queue or not. Okay, so this is about the password. Then we have failover destination. Not a big deal. So if our customers they get a failover, we can transfer this call to another destination. Absolutely. Many options are available here. Okay, now let's keep going. So scrolling down a little bit, we're going to talk about something else. We have agent timeout here. So agent timeout, you make a call comes in, then we're gonna ring this agent. So what is the agent timeout? By default setting is 30 seconds. Okay. What's more, we can also enable ring in use. So ring in use is also very easy to understand. If I enable ring in use, that basically means if this agent is currently occupied and now you just make a call comes in, our system will just follow the your configuration. Okay, it will still ring this guy. Okay, for example, if currently I choose Liner, so the next call comes in is supposed to ring the 7001, and right now 7001 is occupied, but it doesn't matter. Our system will still transfer this call to 7001. Okay. And also we have agent announcement. That's pretty easy. So if you prefer to make a customization announcement, don't forget to do it. Okay. Make a customization prompt, then you can play this announcement. Okay. So this announcement will play to the agent prior to breach in the caller. Just like I said, nothing special. But if you never make a customization, sorry guys, our system will just use the default prompt. What's more, we have retries. The retries here means if a customer comes, he just makes a call comes in, and he just ring those guys one by one, but none of them pick it up, right? None of them pick it up. Then he just finished one turn, right? Finish one turn, and after that, our system will wait for 30 seconds. Then it will start to ring these 7001 again. Start the second turn. Well, 30 seconds for retry, that's a little bit weird, right? Because it's too long. So absolutely, you can change this time. 10 seconds, whatever you prefer, you can change it here. So it's totally customizable. And also we have wrap up times. Now, wrap up time is also sometimes very helpful for your agents. For the service center, one big deal is those agents, they work for the service center. They're going to handle incoming costs. So their job is to handle incoming costs with no doubt. But besides that, another very important part of their job is to collect some important information. It's not just pick it up. is you pick up the call, you collect the information. So we can give our users, I'm sorry, we can give our agents wrap up time. So by default setting is 30 seconds. It actually means if you finish this call, you just hang it up, you got 30 seconds uh, for free. So during that 30 seconds, don't worry about the cost. We're not going to ring you. So you get 30 seconds for free. You can do something by yourself. You can collect some information, take notes, or maybe take a cup of coffee. Anyway, but this time is flexible. You can change it. Of course, it's not just 30 seconds fixed. You can do something by yourself. Okay. Then we have some other settings like caller experience settings. For caller experience settings here, you can totally make some customization to improve your caller experience to the customers. That's very important sometimes. Like we can set a music on hold, so our customers, the call comes in, you can play music. All right. And also here's caller max wait time. So sometimes the service center is very busy, right? So customers, they make a call comes in, they're gonna need to wait for a while. Maybe I'm not so sure. So we can set a max wait time. For example, by default setting is 1800 seconds. So you're gonna be able to wait here for 1800 seconds. If there's nobody handed up, nobody take your call. After that, you will be transferred to the other places. You're going to be out of this queue. Okay. And also, we can enable leave when empty. So if there's no available agent in this queue, you're going to be kicked out. But simultaneously, you can also enable join empty. So if you enable this, even there's no agent in the queue, but you will still be able to log in, be able to call to this queue. Here we also have join announcement, so we can also do the same thing. Make a customized prompt by yourself, upload it here. You will be able to choose the prompt to play to the caller if they join into the queue. Okay. Then we have agent ID announcement. We have satisfaction survey prompt. But when you try to use these two features, don't forget to make a customization. Make a custom prompt by yourself, okay? Because talking about agent ID announcement or satisfaction survey, you need to record something by yourself to indicate your customer. Okay. Then caller position announcements. Caller position announcements also can be a pretty good idea for this call queue, because if you are going to have a very busy queue to handle lots of incoming calls, I'm pretty sure you don't want to waste your customers' time. So you can play the announcement of the position just to tell your customer the current position they have right now, and also the hold time, just to tell them be patient here. And you can set a frequency here, like every 30 seconds I'm going to play this announcement. But if this call is handled by an agent, then forget about it. Besides that, the periodic announcements is also available. So periodic announcement, I guess, is a pretty good idea for you to play some advertisement. If customers, they're waiting on the line for a really long time, you can actually play advertisement here. Just an example. So you can put your advertisement here, play it to your customer. What's more, the last feature we have here is going to be the key press event. I'm sorry, the key press event. So key press event means if our customer, they wait for a really long time, they don't want to waste their time. They want to transfer this call to somewhere else. So we can give this option to them. For example, like, please dial asterisk. If you don't want to wait for a really long time, you can go to the other destination. If you want to hang up, you just dial asterisk key. Or if you want to leave a message, we can choose voicemail. Okay, then click on save and apply. All right. Now, same as usual for this call feature, for this call queue feature, when we try to make use of that, create a queue here, then put this queue in your inbound, incoming call destination. Okay, now let's keep going. Next feature, conference. Our PBX, absolutely, we support a conference. Our PBX is a totally IP-based solution. So for all these basic features are totally supported. There's no license charge. That's pretty good. So for conference feature is also very easy. What you're going to do here is just create a conference. That's exactly what you're going to do here. And talking about conference, guys, another thing, another advantage our Yeastar solution can provide you guys is on your PBX you can create a fixed conference. So in the future we can just call this conference number to join the conference. And on our Lankus mobile client, you can actually start a random conference. That's very convenient. Like you got a business trip, you want to start a conference, you can take your Lankus mobile client, you can grab your mobile, start a conference directly. But anyway, that was talking about Lankus. Let's get back to the conference here. Create a conference. First thing first, name your conference, set the number. So normally we don't need to change the number. It's not a big deal. We can just use the default number here, and we can name our conference. Like this is for marketing or training, whatever. We can just put it here. All right. Then we can select a user here. Uh, Guys, here, if I select a user here, you guys will see this is member moderators. It's not a normal user, it's a moderator. So if I select Jason New, that actually means Jason New will work as the moderator in the future for this conference. Okay, then you can enable wait for moderator. The next time when we try to start a conference, other people, if they call to the conference first, they cannot start any conversation. If I didn't join in, so I have to join in. Jason knew, I have to join in the conference. The other people, they can start the conversation. And by the way, we can also set a password. So for participants, if they want to join in the conference, here's the password. We can also set a password for moderators. So if there's another guy like Daisy, she want to join the conference as the moderator, she can basically just dial 123 as the moderator. Okay, and here we also have a sound prompt. The sound prompt you guys can see, this is going to be the sound prompt used for the log in and log out of the conference members. So if you want to play the extension number, you can choose the extension number just to notify them, or you can use the default prompt to notify them. Okay, then we have allow participant invite. So enable this, other participants, they will be able to invite other users by feature code. That's it. So this is about the conference feature. Very basic. Normally we're going to use this feature for our internal users, right? So for external users, for internal users, we can use this conference, make a very regular conference, let people to join in. And sometimes we want to start a random conference to invite some external users, some customers. So facing that kind of circumstance, we're gonna use Lankus because Lankus is pretty powerful. You can just use your Lankus mobile client, start a random conference. You can invite your internal users plus your external users. Okay. Now, next feature, the call pickup group. We also have this call pickup group feature, very basic one. So talking about the pickup group feature, we actually can provide you guys two solutions for the pickup. The option one, the first solution is you can use pickup by feature code. So for example, if there's no pickup group, I just want to pick up another user, another extension's call. So if he got a phone ring right now and he's not in the office, I'm going to dial the specific feature code plus his extension number to pick it up. But if I have a pickup group, like I'm going to put that user and my extension, his extension and my extension in this pickup group. I put two extensions in this pickup group together. Then we can name this pickup group. Then after that, next time if I try to pick up his call, I can just use the feature code. I don't need to dial his number. Okay? Or maybe another user's in this pickup group. Anyway, so any of them got a phone ring right now, I can just use the feature code to pick it up. I don't have to dial the specific extension number. So this is about the pickup feature. And by the way, as for the feature code, you can just go for the general here, and you can find the feature code of the call pickup. Check over here. So if you use call pickup, which is asterisk 4, you can use this feature code in the pickup group. And if you're going to use the extension pickup, that actually means you're going to dial asterisk 04 plus the extension number. Okay. All right. Next feature, paging and intercom. About our paging and intercom feature, guys, it's actually a pretty good solution for lots of scenario, for lots of different circumstances. For example, talking about this, I just remember that we have a real case in China. For an airport, there's an international airport in China. They are actually using our Yeastar S300 system plus this paging and intercom feature for their broadcast. That's a pretty good solution. The S300 system can help them to build up the telephony solution, the whole telephony system, with no doubt. Besides that, they have lots of amplifiers, the SIP amplifiers. They fix the SIP amplifiers in the airport. Then they create a paging and intercom group. So they create lots of extensions. Then they just register those SIP amplifiers on those extensions. Then for the broadcast, what they're going to do is they can simply just grab their phone and make a call directly. So all those amplifiers going to play the notification to the airport for the broadcast. So that's a pretty good solution. But anyway, guys, just an example. Just want to share with you guys. Let's keep going here. So for the paging and intercom feature here, first thing here, you can set number, you can set a name, same as URL, and you can choose the type. For the type here, we get three options. We have one-way paging, we have one-way multicast paging, and we get a two-way intercom. So one-way paging is pretty easy. Now that's a very normal solution for the broadcast. So what you're gonna do, you can select all of your users or a bunch of your users or part of your users anyway. Select them here. Then next time about this, the paging. So you can simply just make a call to this paging group, 6301. Then we can start playing this, broadcast to all these users. So they will automatically get a phone ring, or they're gonna, if this is a speaker phone, they're gonna play the announcement directly. And we can also support one-way multicast paging. The difference between one-way paging and one-way multicast paging is the concurrent call. So if you're going to choose one-way paging, now that's multiple concurrent calls going to be taken on your system. Absolutely, right? You start you start a broadcast, you start this announcement, then those terminals, those extensions, they're going to pick it up. So your multiple concurrent calls are going to be taken, right? But if we use one-way multicast paging, that basically means I'm going to just need to start one call, and I'm going to send this call to the specific channel. So set the IP address of this multicast channel. Then for other users, they're going to automatically get this announcement, get this audio file from this channel. So your system will only take one concurrent call. That's the big difference. All right. And as for the two-way intercom, this is just intercom solution, kind of like walkie-talkie. Now, normally we can use this feature for some specific scenario like workshop. So if this is a workshop, I want to use the my telephony system for point-to-point communication, real-time communication, and make it simpler. I can use two-way intercom. So I don't have to dial something that's complex. That's a little bit complicated. I can just use this, start talking with each other for some emergency situation in the workshop. Okay, so this is about the paging and intercom feature. All right. The next feature, the last feature, guys, I'm actually going to talk about here will be the speed dial. Let's have a check here. For the speed dial feature, I guess sometimes it's going to be a pretty good solution for internal users or maybe for external. It depends. For internal users, if, for example, if I want to dial a specific extension like general manager, so it's just a little bit complex for me to remember all those numbers. I prefer to set a very specific number, like number 1 or number 2. I'm going to dial that for general manager's office directly. So we can set a speed dial. So what I'm going to do, just add a speed dial code here, like number 01 or something, whatever. I can just add a rule here, right? Then here I can put the phone number. Then I'm gonna be able to send this call out directly. So it's just an easy way for you to make a faster call, right? Or maybe we can also use speed dial feature for some interesting thing, like if I prefer to order some food for my employees in the office. But the point is, I don't want to spend my time to try to remember the restaurant's number, like a Pizza Hut. For example, we're gonna order some pizza. It's really complicated for me to remember to spend my time try to keep Pizza Hut's number in my mind. So I prefer to use the speed dial code, send the call out to Pizza Hut, order some pizza. So that's also a interesting thing, but we can use this. Okay. All right, guys. Guess that was all we have for today's webinar, and we just figured out lots of basic call features on our PBX. Hopefully, everything's clear. And if you have any questions, you can let me know through the chatting panel. Okay.